we first started off thinking about the concept of the battle system, what we really wanted was something that was speedy and also with a lot of tactics involved. And from the very start, we already had the paradigm system in mind of giving characters different roles and having different formations of those roles present in the game. So that was theirs from the start, but in the beginning there was a lot more of the paradigm system and the command system with the ATB gauge there was a lot more merged, and as we played it, it became apparent that it was difficult to control the commands and input the abilities separately while trying to balance the paradigm system and shifting it at the same time. So we really worked on splitting those two aspects so that it's easier for the player to control and focus more on the paradigm shifting. And so for the commands as well, we implemented systems like the auto battle so that players can concentrate more on the paradigm system. One of the reasons why there's a switch to a battle screen is because in implementing the paradigm system, one of the difficult things in balancing the battle system was the healing aspect, since that's available constantly to the players. So we felt that, in having that option constantly available, it would players would lose the sort of edge in battle where they feel like they can heal any time. So in order to kind of add the challenging side to the battle, we decided to implement this time limit system to the battles. And so in order to, portray that limitation, the time limiting, and really confine the battle experience into the battle itself, if that makes sense, switching to the battle screen was essential to really create that in-battle feel. Since there's no MP in the battle system, there's the healing magic is constantly available, and so you can face situations where, if one character continues to heal endlessly, then if you stay in battle for a long time, you'd be able to defeat the enemy no matter what, because everybody stays alive and healthy with full HP during the entire battle. So in order to keep the challenge alive during battles, they implemented the time limit, and thus the switch to the battle screen was essential. For the time limits, we definitely feel that it could be a challenge for certain players, since it is tough to reach a certain point in battle, and essentially if it seems like the boss is telling you that, oh, you're taking too long, so now I'm going to attack you and your turn is over. But I feel that, in these battles, it's actually possible to prolong them to a point where you're fighting for 45 minutes, an hour, depending on the type of, formation that you choose or your strategy. But I feel that having players playing through a battle for 45 minutes to an hour is going to make it feel like such a chore, and if the boss ends up defeating them after that hour, it's really going to lower their motivation into battle. So we really wanted to just make it so that at a certain point the boss could the enemy could be a reminder of, well, the battle's kind of taking a little bit of time, so maybe it's time to change up the strategy or move along in the battle and try a different style next time. So that's one of the reasons why the battle system ended up the way it is right now. And as for the fast-paced battles, players who have a lot of motivation and who want to take on the challenge of beating the battle as fast as possible, the game could become really fun for them in that sense too, because the game will reward them for beating the battle faster. But that isn't the main point of the battle system in Final Fantasy XIII, just to beat it as quickly as possible. But if a player wants to take on the challenge, it should be a really fun experience. When we first started testing the battle system, we felt that having the ability to control all three characters interchangeably, as well as having to shift through the paradigms, was really a major task, and it would be too much for players to really take in. It was too much for the developers when testing it. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why we decided that having one main controllable character during battle would be ideal. And also, since this is a role-playing game, we really wanted to emphasize unity between the player and that main character. So being able to switch between different characters interchangeably will kind of lessen that tie between the player and the character. And this is the reason why when the main controlled character dies in battle, then it becomes game over for the entire party as well. So that kind of strengthens the tie. And as far as why there isn't too much of a micromanaging like in the Gambit system for Final Fantasy XII, we really wanted to emphasize the strategic element. There was a certain level of strategy that we wanted to achieve in the battle system for Final Fantasy XIII, and plus, in order to implement more action-like, fast-paced movements during battle, we felt that the current balance and the current system was the best. I wouldn't say that the battle system is 100% perfect, but I am extremely satisfied about the fact that we were able to create something new and different from previous Final Fantasies and from games that are out there right now. And for players, I feel that if they could play this and really realize that if they just put a little bit of thought into their strategy or the way they're fighting the battle, things could really turn out differently depending on how they play. So just putting that extra thought into gameplay is something that I really want players to experience and enjoy.